think this one was sharing a lot better. I don't know. I was gonna say that's why also this chair I think is the smallest chairs. Maybe we could differ the smallest chair. We gotta offset this year.
Oh my god, this is so weird.
What's up, everybody?
Are we on it?
Welcome to Sick Invite. I'm Dipper.
I'm Brandon.
That's Corey. Yeah, so this is Corey from American Standards. You've known Brandon for 10 years, right?
Yeah.
You guys are lovers.
Give or take.
It's been a while.
Lovers.
Lovers.
Lovers?
We've shared many a bed.
You guys been on tour together. You guys, how many shows do you guys think you've played together? Rough estimate.
Over 300 for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I think like about a year ago on Bands in Town, there's like that notification like you hit 300 shows. So at least 300 that we've decided to input into Bands in Town. Sure, there's some that fell through the cracks at like some kid's basement or something.
The real question then is, when did we get on that website?
Yeah, true. I have no clue when that was made.
Was this?
Producer, Bands in Town.
She has it. She doesn't even have her phone.
Shut up,
Okay,
Trader.
what are we paying you for?
Are we
Yeah,
making
maybe.
anything off this? We're not. I'm just wasting your time to come down here and bring your friends.
I think you could, I mean, as long as you're giving this, like, making the pitches or adding in the little advertisings, you can say whatever you want, and then you can hit them up and be like, we've been saying this for
We've
3
really been
fucking
chilling,
months.
Bands in Town.
What's up, Audible?
There you go,
Squarespace. What
Built
else?
it right. That's all we got.
That's all we got.
That's all we got. So what the hell you been up to, Corey?
Oh,
Corey is like elusive because everybody else is online. They're posting what shit they're doing and everything. Like Corey doesn't talk about anything he's doing online. So literally, I haven't seen Corey for probably what 3 months at least.
yeah.
I have no clue. I didn't even know you were alive until today.
I don't know. I just. Do you ever like on like Instagram or something like that? I feel like an asshole for posting like a photo or something.
Yeah.
And if it's like yeah, and if it's I wouldn't say it has to be like extreme or anything like that, but it's like I don't know. It's just I don't get the point.
I feel that like especially like if you're posting it in the moment, like I definitely feel like an asshole there because it's like if I'm really having that much fun,
Right.
then why am I on my phone? But I do also the other side of that is like I will take pictures occasionally, and then like a week later I'll see like oh shit I like got 50 pictures here that I took for no reason. I might as well post these, you know. And then my brother or someone will hit me up, and be like, "Oh, I see you're in so and so." I'm like, "No, that was like a month ago." Man. It's like,
But that was the thing. Like so I was like, okay, maybe Twitter will be a little bit better.
yeah. Oh, I did see you get back on
So
Twitter. You haven't done
I was on that.
anything.
Oh, sorry.
No, I'm trying to
Oh,
reach
you're-
this. I was trying to signal Brandon, but he
Not
doesn't
at
pay
all.
attention to me ever.
Nope.
So I went on there and I was like, okay. So yeah, I was watching a soccer game and they posted something, so I commented on it. But then like 5 minutes later, I'm like, fuck it, and I just deleted my
Delete it.
comment. No, I deleted. Like, there's no fucking point to it. Like
You're like, I don't even want to deal with anybody responding to this.
yeah,
You're
or
like, there's
you know,
no
I
point.
don't know.
I do think Twitter's like the worst of all of them. That just seems like you're just yelling into space, right?
I don't have a Twitter. Like
Yeah.
I refuse to have one.
I think from like a sports aspect, it's better.
Yeah. You know, I get it from like the news perspective, but like actually actively tweeting on there.
Yeah.
That's what like, yeah,
Like
you
no
just-
one's gonna care. You're like, I ate
Exactly.
breakfast this morning, and they're like, terrific. They're like, did the Bruins win? They're like, that's what I really care about.
Yeah. But you've always been pretty not active, but like you're always on Instagram. Like you're always looking at shit from what I remember.
Right.
But like never like posting anything.
Yeah.
So what the hell have you been doing for like the last 3 or 4 months? Have you been just up in the house, or have you been? I know you got engaged, right?
Congratulations.
Heck yeah.
Congrats.
Heck yeah.
Cheers.
Baboom. Babi.
You've been chilling in the house, been getting out to nature. What have you been doing?
Fucking, it's just really doing the quarantine stuff, I guess.
Where's you building a tiki bar and
Was
patio or
building
something?
the patio tiki bar.
How's that coming along?
Yeah, I took a break on it.
How far did you get along?
I bought a fern.
The same thing like on Twitter. He posted a comment and deleted it. He bought a fern and threw it in the trash. This is
Like,
so
why the fuck am I doing this?
But I mean, really, just nothing.
Doing Legos?
No.
Not even touching the
We,
Lego
I mean, you know, doing a little bit of the Life and Limb thing. We did that live stream with Abel and Vodka and stuff.
How's that going?
That was good. It was really cool.
Was that SCR, right?
SCR, yeah, good people, really cool guys. And then of course Joe was pitching in on it too.
He was my manager at GameStop. You guys didn't know.
Oh yeah, for sure, Joe.
Yeah.
So we gotta get him on too.
Just hit him. Oh yeah, for sure. I was gonna wear his shirt.
I fucking love Joe. He used to. All I remember from GameStop days, like, hey, can you go sticker those games?
He's a good guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was the best manager I've ever had.
He's a good guy.
Cheers to you, Joe.
But outside of that, it's just.
Are you working from home, or you're not back in the office, right?
Yeah, no, still working from home.
How do you like that?
It's okay. It was good the first 2 months, and then it's just kind of just getting a little burnt out on it. I guess.
Yeah, I feel you on that one.
Waking up in the same place that you were done at, or that you're working at, and then you're done and you're still there.
Right. But I like it because
We're just flexing on producer Heather right now. Look at all us working from home.
Yeah. It's okay. I mean, it's just
We're safe, so we're stuck at home, and it's
You're
driving
safe,
me
I'm
nuts.
not.
Yeah.
we go up to. We've been hanging out with mom and dad a lot. Doing that, going out and hanging out with them, and
So the fun part is mom and dad have always been very supportive of American Standards.
Really?
We shot a music video in their living room.
yeah, they
Yeah.
weren't even home.
We had some house shows at Corey's parents' house.
Yeah, it was good.
Put a nice butt-shaped hole in the wall by people circle pitting and falling back into it.
Did your parents have anything to say about that?
Dad was a little like, you gotta be kidding me. But outside of that, because I can't really remember. We did. It was the first one, I think, and they dipped out. They're like, yeah, we'll give you your space, do the house show.
We'll let these 60 kids destroy our house.
And they they came back. I think they went and got like dinner or something like that. And they came back, and my dad rolled up, and this kid comes up to me. My dad's like coming through the front door. He doesn't give a shit. But this kid's like, there's this guy out here, and he's like, I don't know what he's doing. I'm like, it's my fucking dad. What's this shit? But
This old man out here staking the joint.
what's going on? But yeah, it was good. I think. And then the second time around, we barbecued.
Yeah, that's for Mike Cook's birthday.
Yeah, that was the Cook birthday.
Yeah, we had like apparitions
Mhm.
and
Oh god, what
put
band was that?
surprise.
What was the asshole band? Do you remember that? They were
I
assholes.
think that was apparitions.
They were mean.
Because they showed up like after the show was done and then like insisted on playing.
And you're like, dude, we're
It's a
like,
house show, brother.
we're full
Yeah.
already. Like we're.
But then we did because I was Griffin's band, and then we actually ended up playing Griffin's memorial show, which they're very cool to us at that show.
Yeah, they were.
I mean, they asked us to play that show. So,
It's just hey, you know what? Shit happens, man.
yeah.
How can you do?
So, since Brandon likes to berate me about It's All Grizzly because we only have like 2 songs out, how's the new song going, guys? Good?
New song's going great. We got so much content.
So much, dude.
All the we haven't seen each other in like 3-4 months. We haven't seen each other in 3 months, but I don't think we practiced as a band way before that probably.
Yeah, it's just I don't know.
We keep talking about stuff, but it's like right now not having the drummer, right, is the biggest thing. Like,
Yeah,
we've
yeah.
got Jordan that knows the songs,
Right.
but like he can't really practice or anything.
Yeah.
So
It's I wouldn't say. I mean, from my perspective, I mean it's not with the whole quarantine and everything like that. It's not hurting or anything like that.
if anything, it's an excuse now for us not to have.
Right.
Yeah, I know.
Now, everybody's in the same
That
boat.
made me
as
feel
us.
bad that I asked that question. I feel
Everybody's in the same
Jeez.
boat now. So ha.
You do it so flawlessly, you're like, no guilt whatsoever. I ask it, and I'm like immediately guilty afterwards.
Yeah, now we feel bad because.
I know you guys have been together a long time. How many music videos have you shot together? Because I know there's the one
6.
Denial,
Is that really? I don't know. That's quick.
the one where you're playing bass.
So you got to see the evolution of Corey go from bass to
I did,
guitar.
yes, I've seen all your
But
videos.
go to guitar. I think. Were you playing guitar? No, you weren't playing guitar in Still Life, were you? No, you. I think Brennan.
No. Yeah, that was still Brendan.
But then with Engine Engineer, you moved to guitar.
Yeah, that was the.
But he
the
played
notes.
bass on that song, but he played guitar in the video, and that was kind of the transition. And that's the first video that we had Craig in.
Craig.
And then
And Cookie.
Craig was playing bass for that video.
I have no idea who that guy is.
Craig. Oh yeah, I think he lives in Florida now.
Yeah.
Doing JavaScripting.
We've talked about how this is a podcast where we just talk about like inside stories about people that no one knows.
I know, right?
By this point, everybody's tuned out, so what the hell's
Hey, you know what? I think some people watch.
This is just an excuse for us to get together and have a couple of beers.
Did you ever hear of Last March of the Ends?
Is that
The band?
No.
Have their song.
That was the band that he was in.
Well, now I'm gonna go look them up after this. And
They were
find
good.
out.
They
I
were
think you'd
cool.
like them.
Yeah.
Were they
Little,
for real?
little chariot-y.
Yeah, they're a Yuma. They're like the Chariot.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, some bands I just never got to catch when they were around. That makes me sad.
So Dipper's been doing it probably as long as us too.
Really?
Like at least what 2008, 9?
Yeah, because I played with you when you were in the hostage situation in this band called Friends Burning Friends. And I don't think I played with you guys when I was in Right to Bear Arms, but now It's All Grizzly plays with you guys quite a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, no one plays at all.
No one plays at all. But he just. Well, I mean, if we do live streams now. I mean,
Sure.
you just
They did a live stream too, so.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. I mean, American Standard's been asked to do a few, but we just can't with Jordan.
It's hard,
so,
yeah.
I mean, if I played drums, I would.
Learn drums.
Dude, you
I
could probably
can-
just like
I can
pretend.
Get, I can get this,
On the
dude.
drum machine?
I can get this.
No, just pretend, and then they could just like put the audio over it.
Just like a music video.
Yeah. There you go. This is all you get right here.
That's it.
We still sound shitty live.
Will you just make it like? Did you ever see that video of Muse and they're like in like Mexico or something, and they wanted it was like a live performance like in a studio audience, but they were like, no, you're just gonna pretend to play and we're gonna play the audio over it, and they weren't about it, so they all switched instruments for the live performance.
That's pretty awesome.
So it's just the guitarist and he's on the drums and he's just doing this the whole time.
That's cool.
It's pretty cool.
It's kind of like an Airheads moment, man.
Yeah.
I love that movie.
So going from bass to guitar and then now singing for a band.
Yeah.
Like, so you did, I mean, you played bass for American Standard for like 2 years or so, and guitar probably for like the last 8,
Right.
and then singing for like what, the last year or 2, but you've always sung for American Standards too.
Right.
But like full blown just like holding the mic singing at a show. Like, do you feel like do you miss like playing bass at all, or do you wish you would have gotten into singing solely for a band earlier? Or do they all have their own appeal?
They all have their own little quirks and their bits to them. I think if I was to if I had to put a favorite on any of them, it would be bass, because that's the most forgiving,
True.
to be honest.
Yeah.
So that's the most fun, I think, I wouldn't say to play sloppy or anything like that, but
You're like, I missed a note. Oops, no.
but just to like fuck around with it is a lot of fun, and it just gives you more freedom to kind of get silly,
Yeah.
I guess.
Especially
play.
being like a one guitar band, like
Yeah.
you're really like held accountable for holding the
Yeah,
song.
But I mean, in your own right, you're nuts on stage too. Because I watched you and Brandon. I'm like, I wonder who's crazier. Like, because like you'll throw yourself around, and he'll throw himself around, but then he'll run out and rap somebody else.
Right.
Who do you
Well,
think is
it's
crazier?
I think Corey's crazier, but I do think when he was on bass, like if you think Corey's crazy on guitar, when Corey was on bass, he was just throwing that shit around like crazy.
Yeah.
There's actually a video of us playing in Tucson where Corey throws his bass around and he hits me in the head and I fall straight to my knees, like flat forward, and then just try to scramble to grab the mic. And Corey used to like break a bass like probably every other show. We played a CD release show actually where we got like 3 songs in. Like this was gonna be like, we were playing at the Nile upstairs. We were gonna play probably the most songs we've ever played. Like we had, I don't know, maybe 15, 16 songs that we were gonna play.
Right.
We were 3 songs in and Corey breaks his bass in half.
Yeah, and I think I think that just comes from just what's the word I want to use? Just being
Adrenaline.
No, but just being younger and just stupid, and like I would get so mad while we would play.
Was
if,
that
like,
an anger break? I don't.
a lot of breaks were anger breaks.
Okay, I thought they were getting into a breaks, but
No.
Corey does have a history of losing some temper.
But you look back and it's like, God, that was so stupid. Like to do that, like what an idiot.
What do you think the stupidest moment that you've had is on stage?
On stage?
What's the one thing like if you went back, you're like, I wish I
I
didn't
would
do
never have
that.
done that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. There's a lot.
There's a lot of them. Normally people are like, no regrets. I really enjoy my life. I have so many regrets.
No, I think like bass wise, totally fine. I think the one that sticks out, I wouldn't even say I was totally fine with it, but the whole what the hell was that? What the hell's the venue right there, over there?
Clubhouse?
No, the other one on what is that? McCormick?
Oh, Pub Rock.
Yeah, that one.
Oh yeah, that was probably one of the most awkward shows I've ever
Exactly.
played.
So I would say that would be probably the biggest one, but. To look back at it, would I say that it was like, would I have like regrets? No, but
Yeah,
I
looking
think
back, I don't care.
But I
At
don't
the time,
care. But it
it's
was just like, that was stupid.
No, you can't mention it and not tell me what the fuck happened.
So the cover, well, first off, I'll give the end away. I think Corey can tell the story because
Yeah.
we actually talked about this recently, and it happened much different than from my perspective, it happened.
Right.
So the cover of our Facebook is a broken guitar with like some beer, cups, like
Right.
red Solo cups or whatever that are all around it, like thrown on at the guitar, and this broken guitar on stage. So Corey could tell the story from his perspective, because I didn't know until very recently how this actually went down. I had a whole different vision just being on the stage like singing, and then
Right.
seeing Corey like get dragged out. Or
I didn't even get dragged out. This guy is putting so much into this story than it is. And maybe there is parts that the venues told Brandon, they didn't tell me. But I think again, let's go anger breaks. So there's anger breaks, and
anger.
and that could be an album.
Yeah, there you go. Anger breaks.
Anger breaks. So
Copyright.
we're playing, and I really can't remember. It's been so long, but it just got to a point where we were playing the set, and I think some of the songs just weren't going, or I was having really bad guitar technical issues, and that was really pissing me off. So it just second to last song, just busted the hell out of the guitar and called it a day. So, or like halfway through the last song, just busted it out, called it a day. And I went outside, dealt with myself, came back in. They finished the set, bass, drums, vocals, finished the set out. And I came back, took my stuff off the stage, threw it in the car, done deal. That was it. That's all that happened. That's all that I remember, because smashed the guitar, took off. I didn't think there was anything more to that. Apparently, according to Brandon, I got kicked out.
I just know what the sound guy and security told me. So from what I saw, like we're playing, like I think we were like probably I don't know if it was innocent. I thought it was more like midway in, but I do remember we were playing Engineer.
Right.
I know that was the song we were playing, and Corey was pissed off at the beginning because the sound. I guess the sound guy was.
It was just all the. I was just having a lot of technical issues with the guitar.
So like the sound guy had been giving like a hard time to the bands before us and stuff like that too, and Corey was already a little bit frustrated, or it seemed like it at least. And then when he was playing, the guitar kept getting turned down like while he was playing. So the last thing I remember is Corey cranking his amp, like his stage amp, which is normally a no-no when you get a sound guy that's doing it. And then after that, like I think they cut his sound entirely or something, like the mic sound, and that's what I thought pissed him off. So the next thing I see is him breaking the amp. But like I'm doing my thing, I'm trying to keep the show going, and then I see the security come up on the stage, which I thought they kicked you off, but apparently he just walked off on his own volition. Yeah. When I saw the security come up, because then after the show they told me that they kicked him out, so I saw the security, they said they kicked him out, so I'm like, okay, so that's probably what happened.
What a fun fucking time.
Many layers and many storylines.
The most awkward part of this situation is so we're on this song, and like I said, I thought it was more towards the middle of the set, but wherever it was, we're like towards the beginning of this song, and it's just bass, vocals, and drums, and we're all thinking, do we finish this song with just bass, vocal, and drums, no guitar, or do we just cut in the middle of the song and just stop, you know?
Right.
Because Corey's gone at this point, you know. So we're like, let's finish this.
You already know the
You might
song.
as well. But I think looking at it, there was a lot of awkward times.
The funny thing about that though, I remember I felt so fucking awkward of finishing that song and then going to that little back room at Pub Rock and just sitting back there and be like, that was really embarrassing, you know? But then after that, like after the last band I played, because I think we were second to last or something, then going out to the merch table and there just being a bunch of people lined up and they're like, that's the coolest thing I've ever seen. I'm like, no.
Like, no.
You're like, this is it.
That's the funniest thing, is that like what you think is like the end all be of the worst thing that's happening, like while you're playing, it just turns into when the audience is like, this is the greatest thing.
Yeah, looking back, I'm like, that show didn't.
Which
like,
is really
no
weird.
show matters in the grand scheme of things.
No,
At least
get
for
over
us.
it.
They never.
Unless you like spout off something like obscenities. Hold on real quick, I gotta read stuff this. This dick.
Must be a big dick.
It's not very big. I forgot what we were talking about. As we always do.
I think we wrapped that one up good.
Yeah, I think you guys did.
Wow.
So I just saw a video that you guys posted. It was you on stage. He posted it.
Okay.
It's
like
American
a
Standards.
picture of
Yeah, and you guys were all headbanging. Was that a Steak Sauce Mustache show?
I think it was because Brett was there.
Yeah, because I saw Brett.
I don't go on
comment
Facebook.
So, yeah.
So people were joking about the fact that Brett's on the side of the stage, like filming it like avidly. There's always like, Brett looks like a proud parent.
He was like, I'm a proud mama. I saw that comment out loud.
Yeah, Steak
I was
Sauce
like,
is great.
Yeah,
So, were you in that lineup? Because I couldn't tell. There was too many heads.
I think
bobbing
like
out.
normally like I'll start it or like I'll tell people to do it, then I'll like kind of go through the back. So I was somewhere in there. I don't know.
What show was it?
It was another pub rock show.
Oh, okay.
It was actually that shit. I don't know.
You guys never remember.
That was a steak sauce show, so I don't remember. It was probably steak sauce. I set my friends on fire and arsonists get all the girls. because we played with them all at.
Okay.
Oh yeah, you guys played the number 12 show. The
I thought that was the Nile.
Yeah, it was a Rebel Lounge.
I thought number 12
No, it
was...
looks like the
Oh,
other.
I'm thinking Zayo.
Oh, Zero, yeah, Zero's now. But yeah, no, we played with number 12 at Rebel Lounge.
Yeah, who else played that show? It was you.
There's another really good band. Was it Feralux, I think, or something like that? I think it was Feralux.
I don't remember who it was. Yeah,
Yeah.
but I was like really jealous because it was like, oh, you guys can play. How was that? Did you enjoy playing with the number 12?
Yeah, they're cool. After that, Steakhouse actually went on tour with number 12, which is kind of wild. But yeah, no, they're cool. I mean, I think like we talked about this before. It's like all the bands we listened to like growing up. When we play with them, it's like a very different feeling than like if you were a kid and you were to like when you were looking
Right,
up to those
at that
bands.
point in time.
Because you always like think like this is gonna be the coolest thing in the world. We're gonna hang out and become best friends, and like after we play this show, we're gonna like blow up, you know. But now like on the other side of like,
I just wanted to know if they sounded good or not. That's right. That's what I was coming down to.
well, that's the thing too. So Mitch is a huge fan of number 12, and I still talk to some of like Jesse online and stuff like that. Some of the guys. I think that like they played with I think one guitar that time. They didn't have any of the original members except for Jesse the singer. So it was like a completely different lineup. Like I thought they sounded better than they ever sounded personally, because it sounded like actually playing the songs with less noise. But I know Mitch was pretty bummed about the show because it wasn't the original lineup.
Can't please them all.
I was just happy.
But I thought they sounded great because like I played with them with Hostage and Heavy Heavy Lola like way back,
Right.
and they kind of sound like garbage back then because like they're so shreddy that when you've got like two guys and it has to be so in sync to sound good, if they're not in sync it just sounds like noise, and it's kind of what it sounded like.
I mean,
back in the days.
I couldn't imagine what Just Like a Cat sounded like back like in 2005. Like just and the sound quality wasn't as good either. Like
Yeah, exactly. And you got your line 6 like Spiderhead or
you
something
remember
like
how you
that.
can get away with like shitty recordings back in the day? You're like, check this out. You're like,
Yeah.
make sure you made a recording. This is awesome. Like now it's like,
Yeah, we did that for the first 8 years. Back in the days was 2018 for us.
Yeah.
What was your favorite recording experience together?
Look at this to Corey. This is Corey's.
Honestly,
sick
probably. What was that? Going to Andy's. I think
Yeah.
anytime going to Andy's was the best.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think like Hungry Hands for me
experience-wise
was the best
and stuff.
experience. Because Hungry Hands was 3 songs. We got to stay there for what, probably 4 or 5 days.
Yeah.
Like it was just like chill. Like Andy's really cool. Like
yeah.
it might not be the best we ever sounded, but I felt like it's the most like
Comfortable.
fun and comfortable it got to be. And like the bummer about that, and like I remember I was talking to somebody about this. I was talking to my friend Dan from another podcast, the discography discussion podcast, about this the other day. Is like I think like Andy recorded Hungry Hands and Anti-Melody for us, but I felt like we experimented a lot more on Hungry Hands than on Anti-Melody. Like we kind of just went in and we recorded it, and we thought it sounded really really good because we're in a really expensive studio with really expensive gear. But then like when we took it home, I don't feel like it sounds as good as it sounded like in the studio, and it doesn't sound like we put as much into it as we did with Hungry Hands, at least to me.
Yeah. And I
Like the
think,
songs are better in my opinion. But
yeah. It just I don't know. It's tough. I think for me, because you listen to it, it's like damn, like sound, like guitar tones and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's a little hard to hit.
We've never been a tones band.
Yeah. It's like that sounds okay. But it sounds okay. But it sounds okay at that moment in time.
Yeah, when you're on like expensive equipment
Exactly.
with nice
Stuff like that.
speakers and
And
stuff.
then you get it home and it's
Yeah,
all
like,
like together and you're like, what the fuck were we doing?
Like this is thin.
Or
I enjoy
even
those
that's like the
songs,
first time you listen to it, you're just so stoked about being
Right.
something new, and then like you sit on it for a year or something, and you're like, oh, I guess it's not as cool as it was the first time I heard it. You know?
Yeah, that's how I feel. Like we put the little clip, if you listen to the beginning, we put the little clip
I did hear that.
with none of us on there because it was just the band. But
Yeah.
I was like, that's how I feel about Into the Trees because I've heard it so many times, but I was like, it hasn't been released yet. And I'm like, it'll come out eventually.
We recorded that what, like last year, middle of last year maybe.
And it was this year. But
Was it this year?
Yeah, it was this year.
Holy shit!
It's probably like only like it was right before quarantine happened. Like literally like maybe a month before. It all blends in now. It's all just 1 year.
Okay.
So I guess we got to keep the tradition of the question line. What was the last thing you were excited about? Like the last thing you were invited to, or the last thing like you're just super stoked about doing?
What do you like? Just in
In
general?
general, yeah, just not band wise, just like
Like
Why-
I went to go see a mountain. I saw an ant. Like it was really cool.
You saw an ant?
Yeah, I went outside. There was a black ant. It was like this big. I was like, this is amazing. That's the last great thing that happened to me. I'm just kidding.
I'm trying to. Probably, honestly, we what was it? I went to go hang out with mom and dad, like at their friend's house. Just we went and like it was like a pool party.
Was it that one that's a bad influence on Dawn?
It was fun. It's just, I don't know. It's just, I'm really enjoying, you know, I think it's just
Becoming more domesticated?
No, not even that. It's just like hanging
Family-oriented.
out with mom and dad is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Now, on that subject of your mom and dad, because you mentioned this before we got to sit down, your parents have been super supportive of your music career, isn't that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and throwing parties, throwing shows at the house.
They were. I mean, they're no.
John's
they're no
come to find more
ragers
shows
or
than
anything.
anybody
Yeah.
is. Yeah.
But
I'm not saying like party, but I'm saying like, hey, here's have a show.
yeah, they're super. They. I mean, it's to say that they don't care just means like they would rather, you know, they want me or
Well, have
Ashley.
fun.
Yeah, have fun. You know, chill out. You don't. It's not serious and stuff like that. So, and I think it's just I don't know. I don't know where their headspace is. Like,
Do you think they ever, like during this time, like when we first started doing this stuff, like were they bummed that you were doing it, or were they excited about it?
I don't know. I think it was just something.
Because your mom seems thrilled about it, like now, like.
Yeah.
Well, we're not doing it a whole lot now, but like
Right.
when we were doing it, she seems just super proud and stoked, you know. But were they ever like, my son's in like a screaming band, you know?
I think it was just. I think they're just. And I can only speak for mom. I don't know what dad talks to guys at the guys at the shop, but it was just hey, our kids being creative. It's not, yeah, you know, at the end of the day, it's like hey, look at like, it's not this BS not intelligence, but you know, like scholarly or the school oriented,
Yeah.
you know, progress. It's like hey, they're fucking like being artsy or they're like.
They're playing in
Creative.
Wichita tonight.
Yeah, right.
They're in North Dakota.
They're doing stuff that you know. Hey, he's doing stuff that typical kids aren't doing
Yeah.
right now.
So, do your parents think you're a rock star, or they just?
No, I don't think so.
They come and see
Not
us,
anymore.
you know?
Oh, God,
Yeah.
not anymore.
So my parents my mom kind of thinks that like anytime she hears anybody on the radio with like a little bit of raspiness in the voice, like it'll be like Nirvana, she'll like call me like, yo, I heard you on the radio the other day. And she's super thrilled. Like she tells everybody about like how huge we are and stuff, but she's never been to one of our shows. Dawn on the
She
other.
went to a show. Your mom went to a show.
Oh, she did. She went to our CD release for Death of Rhythm and Blues at Club Red. The only time she's seen me play live.
No, she was at the show at Joe's Garden.
Oh, Joe's Garden. I mean, yeah, it wasn't Club Red. It was Joe's Garden. You're right. You're right.
So your mom's been to 2 shows.
No, that was just that one show. Yeah, just that
just
one
one
show.
show.
But outside of that, I don't think she's seen me.
Yeah.
But like Dawn has seen us like a ton of times.
Yeah, she went to it.
She's seen us play to like 5 people and to like 50 people.
There you go.
She's got her fair share.
Yeah, that whole spectrum of 5 to 50.
They're like, and at least 5 of those people in the crowd are like, you guys are really good.
Right.
Buy your merch.
Yeah, the one was her. So.
I mean, I own 2 of your guys' shirts. You guys suckered me into buying me some shit. You gave me a sweet Undertaker DVD too. I really appreciate that.
Gotta stay on brand.
And that's your thing. So, I got a lot of questions to ask because you guys have been playing together. What is your favorite band that you have toured with? I know like you guys have toured with quite a few bands, but what band has really been like the most accepting and the most fun you had? Because I've seen some of your videos, Brandon, that you post.
We're gonna say our answers at the same time on the count of 3.
For touring with?
Yeah.
Not just playing with? Okay.
3.
1,
Oh.
3. Alright, let's start with 3.
3, 2, 1.
Yeah.
And then 3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Steak sauce mustache. No?
Stay.
Oh, Tijuana. Oh, shit. okay.
So it's
I thought we were starting to sing with the S.
So you guys are really good friends with them.
But both of them.
With both of them,
Stay Wild and Steak sauce, yeah.
Yeah.
So what was the band you said?
Stay wild.
Stay Wild, because I couldn't hear you because you mumbled it.
Just because he thought we were going the same direction.
I thought he was gonna say
I
stay
haven't
wild.
heard them, so I'll probably listen to them because you showed me Shake Sauce Mustache.
Yeah, Stay Wild, Steak. I mean, they're like kind of like refused stuff.
Oh, that's sweet. No, I'll take that.
And I think the reason being, I think that just the longest tour that we've done, I think, right? That was,
Probably up there, yeah.
I think that was probably one of the longest. Next to the Young American tour.
We talked about that.
The bear poster. You look really good on it, by the way.
You see that?
Yeah.
So, but it was like the longest, but it was just, I don't know, just something about that tour itself that was just so spot on. I think it was, I don't know.
I think we got to explore a lot that tour. Thanks
Yeah.
to Corey.
Yeah.
I mean, all credit. So I will say, like, that was a weird, like, we had a drummer that only drummed on that tour for us at the time. So that's maybe why I deduct points for that tour. But that tour was great because Corey made it great because Corey's like such a like power through the drive guy. Where every tour prior to that, we would be out, you know, we would play the show, and then we'd be like, all right, we're gonna get a hotel or whatever, crash here. And then Corey, every single night on this tour, he's just like, I'm gonna drive through this. That way, when we wake up in the morning, we're in the next city. So every day we would wake up, and Corey would have just drove nonstop through the night. He would get like 1 hour of sleep, and then we'd be in that city, and then have the entire day to like go to the Space Needle, or to go hang out in Portland, or to go to like every place that we actually got to go to places. Because normally when you're on tour, you're like, you get there a couple hours before you're supposed to sound check, and then it's that.
So he was the hero of the tour.
Yeah, I mean, Corey always is a guy that drives the most, but like that time we were with friends. We got to like experience the entire day with them.
It's the Lego video.
We got to play Frisbee,
It was just really good. I don't know, it was just, I think, like Brandon said, I think it was just, I made it a point to make sure that it wasn't the normal, like, we're gonna just, drive in the morning.
And it was all like cool play. I mean, like didn't we play San Fran, Portland,
played a
and
park
Seattle?
what was it? We played like in a freaking park in what was that? Not Astoria, but Eureka, in California. That was really cool.
Yeah.
So just some weird shit.
I completely forgot about that.
Because people think like touring is like glamorous.
No.
It's fucking not. You're with your dudes in a van, probably being smelly, waiting to play, and then leaving.
Although we toured more glamorously than most.
I would say, yeah.
Because like we're a little like we'll have to play this down a little bit or to cut this part out because we're a little more like on the prissy side where we always get hotels. We always there's very few times that we've had to like sleep. We have slept in the van, But like when it comes to most bands like of our size, they're like, we're gonna sleep in the van. We're gonna drive like for 12 hours a day. It's like we booked it's like 4 to 6 hour drives. We sleep in a nice hotel every night. Like we are like telling them we've got 2 people and then we're like sneaking 5 people in or something.
But yeah, I think it's just. I mean, I think you can make a tour that way if you really wanted to.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't say that we didn't want to sleep in a van. I wouldn't say that we didn't want to,
It's just we didn't need to save money because we were trying to make it.
We're not trying. Yeah, we knew what we were trying to do going into it, and we're like, hey, this is just going to be a lot of fun. So why not just
Yeah, I think like if you're a band that's like, I've got to save money so I can record this huge album and do this big tour and drop all this merch. But if you're like, I'm just gonna have a good time, it's like, well, I made $200 or $300 on the guarantee, and I made some merch money, so I could stay in a hotel, I could pay for gas, I could pay for food, and then like, we're barely gonna break even, but we don't need to like make more than that. No one's trying to pay their mortgage off for fucking a hardcore band.
And I think that was the biggest thing is I think it was almost like every night we would be like, okay, we got money for the hotel and we got gas money, we're good.
Yep.
That was it. It wasn't anything else.
I mean, that's a smart thing. Like, there's some bands like. Now everybody thinks you have to sink like tons of money into it, and I was like, no, make a few videos and put out a couple songs, man, and like there you go. Like, the idea of being famous now is completely different than it was 90s and 80s. The idea is completely out the window.
I think that's also probably why like we've not like had these huge. Well, I guess when you look at the lineup changes, we have had a lot of changes, but like we've been able to stick out as a band, or stick it out as a band. It's just like we're not trying to stress each other out anymore, Because like if we would have spent those like, all right, like let's really tough it out and like sleep in a van for 3 weeks, we would have all got on each other's nerves and probably broke up a long time ago. But since like we're like, all right, let's just have fun in every city we're in. Like it makes it a little bit easier. So like even if the show's not a great show, it's like. Well, we had fun after the show. How many Vegas shows have we played? Where like Vegas is almost 100% of the time garbage shows. But like every time we play there, we have a great time because it's like, as soon as we play this show, we're just gonna go hang out.
We're just gonna go gamble the whole time.
Right. And I think that's probably the biggest thing is that we've always gone into it knowing it's like, okay, we're just hanging out. Like you're with the dudes, you're hanging out.
And that's what should be a band should be about. Like, yeah, cool if you get like famous off of it, like whatever. But like when it comes down to it, you should be just doing it for fun. Like you shouldn't be like, all right, here we go, guys, we're gonna be famous right now. It's like then you're like most people who do it, like these SoundCloud rappers, like put out a song and they just blow up. Like that's how it's been lately. Is like someone put out a song. Like Eskimo Callboy, I haven't heard of them in fucking God knows how long.
Never even heard?
Yeah, they're like an old post-hardcore band. They put a song called Hypa Hypa, and it's like this little like, it's catchy. And I'm like, this is cool, man. I gotta show you it. Like,
but I think there's probably also like now more than ever, thousands of other, or if not more, like people that post stuff on SoundCloud and go nowhere.
Yeah.
So you do see the people that blow up right away, but there's just shit tons of people.
Oh yeah, they're not gonna go anywhere. And it's just
that's
like
with everything now.
Yeah.
Like this podcast, it's not going to go anywhere.
Yeah,
We know that.
Hey, I got one too. So
there you go, there, Chris, right?
heck yeah, that's awesome.
What is
man.
it? What is it called?
What the hell are we calling this fucker?
Was it something from the Flea Pit or something?
Oh yeah, Beyond the Flea Pit.
What's that about?
It's just a movie podcast. So me and our buddy Chris, who lives up in Portland, we just watch a movie and then we'll talk about it.
Have you guys put out more than just the first episode yet, or no?
Well, we've recorded about 8 or 9.
Yeah.
And we're working with this. I can't remember the name of the website, but they're gonna host it.
Probably like a Fangoria.
Yeah, one of Chris's that he
Disturbia or
knows.
something.
Yeah, one of Chris's.
Bloody Disgusting, I think is what Bloody Disgusting is. What he
Yeah,
does.
well, apparently, and I don't have all the names or the facts, but the developers of that website, it got changed, and now they're going under a different name, and that's where it's going.
Okay.
So it's still in the works. So we put out the first episode as a test. I think Chris was just like, let's just kind of get the domains.
Wasn't it like, was it one with the dude from Misfits, or?
God, that movie sucks.
Was it that? Was that it? Or?
Yeah, Veronica. God, that movie was shit.
The Miss. Hold on. Let me.
Danzig.
Oh, it was a Danzig one, yeah, there you go.
What is it from the Misfits?
Danzig.
Danzig. Wait, you talked to him, or was it a movie that you watched?
It
with
was
him?
just a movie that we watched.
Called The Misfit.
No, no, no. The movie. So it was written and directed by Danzig, and it's called Veronica, and it's based on the comic book series that Glenn Danzig wrote, and it's shit.
I imagine so, because like, I like the Misfits. I like early Misfits, but like,
I hate the Misfits.
that's fine. It's a New Jersey thing.
Mother.
New Jersey. Mother. No, that's Danzig, dude. But like, fuck, dude. They have the most shittiest fucking members. Like Michael Graves now.
I was just gonna say, didn't someone come out being racist or something like that?
Oh yeah, he's this fucking bootlicker easily. And then Jerry Only just doesn't stop. He's like, I'm gonna run this fucker into the ground. Check out this skateboard. And you're like, why, dude? I don't want a misfit skateboard. Like, fuck off.
Yeah, but it wasn't a good movie. So we did that, and then what else did we were doing movies. This first round are movies that are written, or I think either written or directed by musicians. So we did that one from Glenn Danzig. We did Lords of
I
Salem.
was gonna say some Rob Zombie ones, probably.
We did Dead Man. That was a stretch because that was by Jim Jarmusch. He's got some music. He was in some bands.
Did you do Kiss James Phantom Park?
No.
Have you seen that movie?
Uh-uh.
Please, for the love of God, watch that movie and then call me and tell me how bad it is, because Gene Simmons just roars through the whole fucking thing.
You mean Trick or Treat?
No, there is a Kiss movie from like, I think it's like the middle of the 70s called Kiss Saves Phantom Park. It is fucking awful.
Dude, they got a bunch. Kiss has a bunch of movies, don't they?
No, they only have that one. And
Really?
It's so fucking hard. Like,
I thought they had a few other ones.
no, it's fucking terrible. What? Sorry to interrupt.
No, you're good. You're good. And then
That's my job.
I know.
we watched Man with the Iron Fists. That was really good.
That's a good movie.
Yeah, it was really fun. And then we watched. Oh God,
Queen of the Damned.
damn. What
Actually, Queen of the Damned was decent, right? I mean, it's not really a B movie at
I
all.
don't remember it. There was another kung fu movie that we watched. I can't remember it offhand. But yeah, they were good. And then we're gonna do Animal Attack movies next.
Nice. Roar is a good one.
Yeah.
That's a fucked up. Did you ever hear about that story? They tried to make them. So this family owned a shit ton of
Is
lions.
that the 70s movie?
Yeah. And like some of the attacks in the movie are fucking
It's
real.
all real.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
really owned like 20 big cats and like filmed this fucking movie over like 5 years.
Damn, before Joe Exotic.
Yeah.
Yeah, just way before Joe's Exotic. Like, good fucking. The movie not so good. The documentary on the movie, excellent.
So we're gonna do that. My pitch in is this movie called White God. So I'm excited to watch that.
What's that about?
I didn't watch it, but it's like a movie from 2012. It's just like German flick, and it's about it's a social commentary movie, but it's about in Germany they put this ban on mixed breed dogs, and that they have to be detained or like put in the pound and killed. So it's this uprising of these mixed breed, these mutts, like in real life. So these dogs just overtake the city and start killing people.
That's sick.
Yeah.
I'm down for that. I like movies. that's all I gotta say.
I feel like you and Dipper have a lot to talk about movies, because Dipper's like every night watching some like 70s or 80s movie.
And it's hard. It's hard to watch movies. I don't know. Like, I think the biggest thing with the podcast is like, okay, it's making me watch movies again. I used to watch movies like crazy,
Yeah.
Crazy. And then it just, I fell off the horse and then...
I'm watching a lot of YouTube lately, which
I love
are,
YouTube.
Documentaries about movies. It's just like, oh, have you heard of this? And I'm like, no, please tell me more. And like, it to explain the whole movie to me, and I'm like, this is fucking amazing. And then I'll go watch the movie.
The
Because
documentary on Mousetrap.
there you go. I was all who the fuck was in that movie? I don't even remember.
The one guy from Birdcage that played Timon.
There you go. Whatever. Yeah, he was. He's.
I don't know his name.
He looks
The
like
producers.
he looks like the producers to me.
Have
I
you
don't
ever
know
seen
why.
The producers? The producers is good.
Yes.
Well, now we can get that producer's money. So we're plugging producers.
Here's money. What's since you like movies so much, what's the most recent thing that you've probably seen in the last year that you really just enjoyed?
I haven't seen it. Well, I didn't see it. Well, and that's a weird way to
Let me
say it.
recommend this movie I haven't seen.
No, I've never seen it, and it was a movie that we did, and it was Dead Man. Dead Man was really good. I really liked it. Directed by Jim Jarmusch, the Johnny Depp movie, the cowboy movie. Ooh, so good. I liked it.
Is that was like made in like 1995, black and white, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I really liked it.
That was good. Yeah, it's good.
I've
Actually,
never
really
seen
good.
it, and I thought it was going to be like super pretentious as hell, and it kind of was, but there was still a lot of good stuff in it. I really liked it.
Johnny Depp was really good at that role.
Yeah, he was really.
It was like Benny and June era of Johnny Depp
Yeah,
when he was still like respectable.
He did really good. I thought he was okay again.
No, like I'm not talking about like personal life. I'm like talking about acting wise. Like, dude, like
He just isn't a pirate.
yeah, like he's like I'm either a pirate or like you're like no, he's like a bad wizard, and you're like this like I guess like.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't forgot about Mordecai either. Like this dude has made some bad movies lately. I like movies, man. I like to critique movies.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No, there should be a.
You guys start a podcast.
I will say this, and this goes to the goddamn, I don't know, what do you call it, the township, the city of Scottsdale. They took away the original Campbell View.
Oh yeah, and then they try to incorporate it into like the one in the movie theater or something like that.
Yeah.
That or the one inside the mall. I mean.
Yeah, I would go to that theater every Sunday morning.
Yeah. With all the white
Blu-rays.
hairs.
Yeah. and just hang out.
Yeah, I agree.
That's why I was like, when my daughter gets a little bit older, like she's gonna be my movie buddy. It's like you're gonna go see this action movie with me. Why? He's like, because you have to.
Do it.
No one else wants to go see it with me. You're gonna go see all the superhero movies and nerd shit that I want to watch.
Heck yeah. That's awesome.
I like shit like that, man. So,
What's your most recent watch that you really enjoyed?
I've seen a couple things lately. I'm just gonna say it. Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me. I've seen that again, and I was like, dude, this is fucked.
You're into Twin Peaks.
I'm still in the Twin Peaks, dude. Like, oh yeah, I have the fucking shirt on. I still just can't figure it out, man. Like, for the fucking life of me. It's like, as I get closer to the answer, it's just like, nah, dude, like,
I've
check
never even
this.
seen it.
It's really, so it's like a soap opera noir, and like, have you ever seen any David Lynch movies?
Yeah.
Okay, it definitely has that David Lynch feel in there, and and I like Kyle MacLachlan as an actor. Like he's very like I think I watched 2 Sex and the City episodes because he was in it, and I was like, oh hey, it's the guy from Twin Peaks. And then I watched it, I was like, he's really good. And then like I watched an episode where he was gone, and I was like, I don't like the show anymore. Like I just really like the actors inside there, the way the world's built up.
Yeah.
I want to plan a Twin Peaks trip, like go to the hotel, stay there.
I know there's like a Twin Peaks bar. I can't remember where. Like not the Twin Peaks brewery bar, but actually based on.
It's
not the one that's like Hooters.
But like, so if you're gonna watch it, watch the show first, and then go back to watch the movie, and then watch the 3rd season, because it all kind of like goes in this weird fucking circle. It's good, dude, and you can talk about it forever because you don't know what the fuck is happening. It's brilliant.
There's a tree, right?
There's a sycamore tree, and it's like this is the arm, and you're like, what the fuck is the arm? And then there's
That's all I know.
I have a friend, and we watched the movie, and then there's a part that says, and I always say, it's like, this is where we live, Shelley. It's a really fucked up part, but the way he said it to me sounded like Stan Marsh from South Park, so that's how I hear it. He's like, he's beating the fuck out of her, like, and he's like cleaning the ground. He's like, this is where we live, Shelley. But when he says it to me, it sounded like Randy Marsh, and now I just made a giant joke out of it, and I feel like a terrible person.
Jesus.
I even have a shirt of it. I made a shirt that says,
Oh my God.
as Leo Johnson from Twin Peaks, and says, this is where we live, Shelley.
That's bad.
I also made a shirt of his fucking face.
And you did.
I was surprised that there's people actually wearing that goddamn shirt.
Yeah, some people. So
Why'd you make that? That was my question.
Teespring. I'm really good at.
Oh, you're just like, this is.
I'm mediocre at Photoshop. Let's say that I'm mediocre at Photoshop.
I must have missed the inside joke of it.
So
He just says sick. So you're not on Facebook. He says sick invite on every fucking. Someone's like,
Oh, okay.
I went to the river. Sick invite.
the funny thing about it is, so John and I used to say that to each other. So John,
Campbell.
yeah.
Okay.
John originally, like every time I post something, he would say sick invite. So I started saying it back to him. And then people started seeing that and saying it back to me. So now I started saying it back to them, and it just became this dumb thing where everybody says sick invite.
And that's why we got this stupid fucking shirt.
So he made that T-shirt that said sick invite, and then he one day is like, yo, we're gonna do this podcast, and we call it sick invite. And I'm like, yeah, cool, that's funny. Or like he posted about it, and then like on a Tuesday, he's like, are you coming over tomorrow? I'm like, oh, this is a real thing.
So I had a lot of
And
people
here
hit
we
me
are.
up and like they're like, "Are you just gonna do it?" And I'm like, "I guess so." And now I'm
Yeah,
doing
why
it,
not?
and it's fun.
Okay.
By the way, he doesn't know this because I keep telling him this. So I was like, that shirt that I'm selling with his face on it,
Oh.
it has American Standards on the side. I'm trying to save all the money to make an It's All Grizzly American Standards T-shirt. It just, I was CD and just put his face on it and call it Sick Invite.
Jesus.
You're gonna have to trademark that.
Yeah.
Sick invite.
I think
Copyright.
we're gonna have to fight John for it. Don't we have him that fat check for him?
He did ask me today. He said he watched the first episode and didn't see us talk about him once. I'm like, it's probably in the second one.
I think it is in the second one. Yeah,
I
it's
don't
when we
know.
have Keenan on, and towards the end, you're like, "We'll give John this fat check."
So what are you promoting right now, Corbin?
What am I
Are you promoting the podcast?
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
podcast.
podcast.
The first person we have
Be on
promoting
the,
something on
be
our
on the
podcast.
fleet pit.
Yeah, everybody's
On
like,
Spotify.
everybody's on hiatus right now. Like every time we're like, "Hey, what do you got going on?" They're like,
Every time I do a podcast, I'm always like, yeah, we're pushing Phantom Limb. It came out a year ago.
"It's a good song."
One song, 1 year ago.
I mean, you have some beggars too. You know, I go back periodically. I really do like the video at the Nile though. That is probably my favorite video because I get to see like, oh, like, hey, I know that person. Hey, I know that person too.
That was a more fun video to do. The one that we, the open mic one we did with Jacob,
Oh, yeah.
the Writer's Block Party.
Yeah, it was okay.
Because it was just like the video concept was just like, oh yeah, let's just get a bunch of people in a room and see what ideas everybody has, and we'll do it and it'll be ridiculous and be fun, you know?
That's what I love about you.
And we didn't have to like go record outside for 8 hours and like, 110 degree weather.
All right, come on, now let's do the up and down thing. All right.
Yeah.
No, you guys weren't
I
saying
mean, the
that.
Dome, we did that, when we did that, the Dome,
Okay.
Engine was at, Harvester was at, was also by Casa Grande, I think, right?
Yeah, why the hell are we going out there?
What
was our deal?
You're like, why are we filming this video out
Right?
here?
We finally got it
Casket
done.
party was outside too in the middle of the summer.
Jesus, why?
Arizona band. Let's film
Oh,
outside.
yeah, let's do this.
And let's wait till this summer.
Right? So stupid.
Any mistakes.
Yeah, because every time I watch your videos, guys, you're just fucking really sweaty when you're outside. Like,
We're all sweaty.
We don't want to look good at all.
no, you're like, I did my hair for this, and then your hair fully like. You can see the progression of the day through the video too. You can be like,
Yeah.
here's where we first did the
They
first
look
scene.
fresh.
Oh no, the La Lux gel is in my eyes.
And I told you before, like 5 seconds of being outside or drinking, I turned red immediately.
Yeah.
So, that's my tell.
That's how I like when we called you on Aaron's phone. I was like, your face was red. I was like, ah.
It's also like laying in my bed, like looking at the phone in the dark.
It was hot, dude. It was a sexy time. Yeah. So you're doing the podcast. Are you doing anything else outside that?
So I haven't doing anything.
Life and Moon. Yeah, we just did the Black Lives Matter stream. That was fun. Good people doing that with SCR and Every Show Joe and Foxhound and a bunch of other bands. So that was fun. And then
Abel's band. We had Abel on.
Yeah.
yeah,
I know who Foxhound is.
You've heard of them. They were on the podcast
Dabbled.
years ago.
Dabbled. But outside that, just playing, practicing, doing that. What else? I think that's about it.
So do you still regularly play now that you're like? Do you play more now that you're inside the house, or have you find yourself kind of like pushed away from your guitar because you're like, I don't want to do this right now?
I do it a lot more now because it's a lot easier, especially while I'm working. And that's bad to say, but you'll be in a meeting or something like that, and I'll just mute myself, and I don't know. I just find I find myself being a little bit more creative with it, and it's almost kind of just like I'd rather be fucking doing something than this. So let me put my.
Don't worry,
efforts
no one's listening to this far into
Yeah. So you're like,
let alone someone from work. So
shit. I told my job I was doing.
when you pick up the guitar now, do you still play like of that style, like of heavy music, or are you learning like other like? Have you got into anything else where you're like, oh, it's just fun to like jam out other random stuff?
Yes. Yeah. So I just find myself going more to like I've been listening a lot lately to like tiny moving parts and stuff like that. So a lot more of that kind of like I don't know what you
Is that
call
like
it.
indie or pop? or
Yeah, like
something?
the
It's
indie
like-
emo,
yeah.
Midwest shit where it's all
Yeah.
tappy a little bit and stuff like that. But
Some
yeah,
Sundress stuff. I'm pretty sure didn't they do a song or I feel like Trevor talked
A little
about
bit.
Trevor-
I could say I
Moving Parts.
could make that leap. Yeah, yeah, it's undressed.
He always asks me to do stuff, and I always forget to do it. Anybody asks me to do something, I freaking forget.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, like I know, like I do this show.
Like this
that's-
podcast.
Yeah.
And like asking Corey to do it.
The day before- hey, did you ask me to be on? Hold on. Chat pops up. I was like, yeah, okay. Thanks for being on for short
Yeah,
notice,
this is
though.
cool.
Because next week we're actually having Aaron from the local show.
Nice.
He'll actually be here. He didn't get lost because he's.
Dipper gets to be band dad for this podcast, which is nice. I just show up, Dipper's got it all
Oh, you
figured
do
out.
all of it?
Dude, I do everything. I
That's
edit.
very
I-
non-Brandon.
But
Yeah, right.
the only thing that he had to do was ask you to come on
Oh,
and bring beer this time.
This is the first thing I've done in my life where I didn't have to do it.
That's crazy.
I really-
That's really well.
I show up, Dipper's got like every time he's like, yo, I just cooked spaghetti.
That's very. That's
But
pretty.
then he cooked it this time.
He's always like, there's spaghetti, here's beers. Like, we'll just sit right here, here's a chair.
Indulge.
That's what I want. I want to get like people on and just talk about life and shit and like be relaxed. This ain't has to go. Doesn't have to be anything fucking special.
Yeah. Probably better than
Something
that
to show to our kids.
Yeah, right. What'd you
The
do?
kids that we have together.
What did what did quarantine be like? Well, dad and dad just talked to a bunch of friends, and that's all they did.
Why does dad look 12 foot tall in this video?
I think it's gonna be not even because you know the height difference right
That's
here.
okay. I'm 4 foot.
Next time you sit in this chair, Dipper,
We
we gotta
got
even you out.
we got 4 minutes. What do you want to do? You want to say bye? Do you want to? You guys want to make out? Do you want
It's
to try to
about time
stay?
to boost those ratings.
We got 4 minutes. You want to try to stare at the camera like we did last
Yeah.
time for 4 minutes?
I didn't make it that far.
You did it. No, you froze.
That's tough.
You
There's
know,
gotta be something else we can say.
no, you can just plenty to say. I just don't want to get into a story with Kevin Smith over here, and then it goes on and I have to stop.
I've been trying to watch myself this episode.
No, you've been doing good. I got to learn a lot about you guys. You know, your touring life. When did you guys start? Do you know? The band, yeah, the band. When did you guys?
Like,
when?
I think
11?
No, it's like 11. Yeah, I think it was like January. It was either January of 11 or no. It's
The
January of 11.
the
yeah.
only way that I can ever mark like when it all started was the whole idea of like May 2012, like being the end of the world.
Yeah.
Because we had played,
We had
played
that
a
house
show
show.
for that. Yeah.
So I think
And that was
when
my first show.
When I first started talking to Cody, it was the beginning of, or yeah, the very beginning of 2011. Because I think Cody and I had, well, actually, we had started exchanging emails like in 2010, but it didn't actually, like, they had already started playing and writing some songs, and then I actually came in the very beginning of 2011, and then yeah, Corey came in probably like mid 2011 or
Yeah.
so. So it went really slow at first, and then
Because I really enjoy you guys. Like I know you guys haven't pumped out that much stuff lately, but I still go like when I'm driving. I still listen to you guys, and I really enjoy you guys. I'm glad I got to talk to you a little more because every time I see you, it's like, hi, I have to go on stage now.
Right.
Okay, I'm done. Bye. And they're like, you know,
do you find yourself now, like with, well, I guess no one's playing shows, but do you find yourself with Life on Limb now that like you're showing up and like
Forced.
having to like play that role of being like, yo, I'm the guy that
Yeah.
shows up early and stays late and talks to everybody and hangs out at the merch table, you know?
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. I wouldn't say it's my. It's those things that you have to do where it's like this fucking sucks, but
Because that's always been me.
but I like doing the good
The thing
ways
that
out
gets
the,
you to
yeah
that,
the
yeah.
good ways out the bad.
yeah. I mean, you get to meet some cool fans and hug people.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't even meet Brandon from the fucking scene out here. I met him from a fucking Every Time I Die group. Like that's how I
Yeah,
did. Yeah, that's really how I met him. Like I just.
That's pretty good.
There's the other cat.
Oh yeah, did the other cats come in?
There's a big dude.
No, that's Andy. So the only way I told my wife we can get this cat is because I have a friend named Andy. And I was like, we keep his name. And she's like, all right. So I got a cat named Andy.
Oh,
Big deal.
A cat named Andy.
That one's Loki.
Cool.
got?
What time do we got?
I think we're almost out of time.
I got 3 cats.
1:57.
Bye, everybody.
That's my cat. This is Tusk.
You like the long hairs?
Yeah. This is bringing the cats in to say goodbye.
I love it.
This is cat hour. This is the last cat minute. I always try to add a picture of the cat in
This
every
one's got
podcast.
little socks on. He's got some socks. Oh! Another.
There's the producer.
That's the carpet.
There he goes. Bye, Tusk.
Then you got the little baby.
Yeah, and then we got oh no. You like Avatar?
Oh, is the name Momo?
Yeah, like the actual show.
Fun fact, I have a Momo hat, and we went to the Wax Museum in LA, and I was wearing it once. And I was wearing that stupid powder blue jacket. You remember that?
I just took a picture next to Johnny Depp because we used to go on Omegle. Have you heard of Omegle?
Yeah.
Like where you talk to people live. We'd go on Omegle like when we're on tour, like at like 3 a.m. after the shows, and like talk to people. And one time we were like just randomly matched with these people. Where like we were drunk and they were probably drunk too, and they were trying to make fun of us, and they're talking to Corey. He's like, "You look like Johnny Depp." Like their insult to Corey was like, "You look like Johnny Depp."
I mean, Corey, I'm gonna be honest. You're probably one of the most handsome people we've had
Oh,
on
thank
this. He's got a chiseled face. His glasses look great. On that note of complimenting you on how beautiful you are, we're gonna end the show because I got 35
I
seconds.
appreciate it. Thank you guys.
I'm glad you
This
came,
is
man.
fun.
I'm really glad. We'll have you again because we'll probably run out of friends because
okay.
we're not that popular.
Yeah, we've already had all 4.
Yeah. Thanks everybody for
It'll be a
watching.
monthly thing.
I'm Dipper. That's fucking Brandon. That's Corey. We had a great time. Check out American Standards. I'm gonna try to pick what songs to put on after this. You gotta sound it to me. I know, right?
I'm tired of being band dead. No,
But this is my pee-pee.